Hey, I'm gonna go do my hive inspection today, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Today I'm going to go work in the apiary. We've got a little bit of an overcast sky, but it's 72 degrees outside right now, and there's no wind, so it gives me kind of an optimal time to get to them. Most of the bees are out foraging, so the hive isn't going to be that populated right now. So it gives me a chance to actually get in and look for mites and look at brood pattern and see how the queen is laying, and also see how they're laying up their honeys stores. And I'm also going to do some more checkerboarding with the frames and get that set up. So let's get started. Okay, for this particular inspection, the tools I'm using is a spray bottle with sugar water. I prefer the sugar water on the bees rather than the smoke. Sometimes I will use smoke, but this is not a time I'll use smoke. It's just a personal preference. That way you squirt the bees and it gets them preoccupied with cleaning the nectar off of each other, and also eliminates some of the pheromones that one of the bees might put out saying danger, attack. But they remain pretty docile from the first time I inspected them. So we're moving through the process and I'm learning more about these bees. The other tool I'm using is my hive frame lifter. I'm also using the bee brush, which is a soft brush which I can just gently brush the bees off the frame so I can get a thorough inspection of each frame. I also have the hive tool, which helps me lift the hives, because the bees have a habit of going out and collecting sap from trees. That sap is what they make propolis from, and they glue everything in the hive and makes it really difficult to try to separate and get up. So that's what that hive tool is for. Then I have this rack which hooks over the edge of the hive that I can set the empty frames on and store them until I'm ready to put them back in. So let's get started. They're still drawing out comb on this, so I don't need to brush the bees off. And we're going to go ahead and put that right there. Okay, I got some capped brood on this one. And they're capping brood on that one. This is a good sign. Right now I'm checkerboarding the frames because I noticed I don't have the buildup that I expected. So the next time I inspect my hives, we're going to try to split the hive. This is a good sign. I'm just seeing capped brood, and I'm also looking for mites. And I'll look down on the bottom for the evidence of mites, but I'm going to go ahead and do a mite treatment in the next video. Okay, they're drawing out comb on that, drawing out comb on that. And I'm trying very hard to not squish my bees. That is a good sign. There's bees coming back loaded with pollen on their little pollen sacs. So with this hive inspection, I was just looking for, well, seeing if there was any evidence of mites, seeing if there was some drone cells, and also I found one queen cell that was not completed yet, so I destroyed that. And because for some reason they decided they needed I wonder if they felt they were getting overcrowded, so they decided to make another queen cell. So I decided to do away with that queen cell, and then checkerboard some more frames to give them more room, and so they don't have that sense of wanting to swarm. Because when a hive gets overcrowded, they will create a queen. They'll leave that queen in the hive and swarm with their old queen. The old queen is the one that is fertilized, and if I lose the old queen, then there won't be any drone for a new queen to get fertilized. Then I end up with a dying hive. So I've got to watch this hive really close and make sure I don't lose my queen. That's imperative. I do not lose this queen. So I'm going to come out here and look about every 4 days and see if there's any supersedure cells or queen cells that they're creating, and get rid of those. I don't want those, not at this time. I just want the colony to expand, and to do that and give them more space is just laying empty frames between the full frames, so they don't have that trigger mechanism to make them want to swarm. Now, I mentioned while I was doing the hive inspection that I prefer sugar water over smoke at this point. And I'm going to go ahead and change my mind on that because I'm allowed. There are instances where sugar water is okay to use if you're just doing minimal on the hive. But this was more invasive, and I should have used smoke, because what the smoke does is it pushes the bees back and away. And I had so many bees on the top of the hive, I wish I had my smoke ready to go at that time to get the bees to move down into the frames and away from the smoke. And that way I wouldn't have so many on top of the hive. So next time I will be using smoke when I do such a thorough hive inspection. Now this colony does look double the size from when I originally added them, so that is a positive sign. I saw a lot of empty brood cells, which means there was a lot of eggs laid and worker bees born and hatched to be able to go out and populate the hive. They're foraging really well. I don't think I need to feed them at this point because the nectar is flowing pretty good up here where I'm at, and we have lots of pollen, as you can see, with all the flowers that are blooming here this spring. Well, that's it on the business in the apiary today. It's just inspecting, and I was trying to look for mites, look for brood pattern. I didn't need to sweep the bees away from the hive, the frames, because I could see through them what was going on. And there was some capped brood, which is a good sign as long as I have capped brood. And there was a few cells in there, a nice pattern of cells with little newly laid eggs in there I saw. Unfortunately, my camera just isn't able to pick those up, but I'll bring out my cinematic camera and we'll try to get you guys a good close-up view, because that has really good video quality, so I'm able to do a more thorough video of and show you guys what the different stages of brood look like in my hives when I inspect them. Right now I'm also crunched for time because we got a rainstorm moving in, and I didn't want the hive opened up when it starts raining. That's bad manners when you're beekeeping. You want the bees to respect you, and also moving slowly and methodically and trying to respect the bees as much as possible. I had a few bees come out and hit my netting, but for the most part the bees' behavior was really good. I'm enjoying these bees. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen, in the Homestead Apiary. Stay tuned to more videos. You can do that by subscribing, clicking that bell icon down below. It alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Giving me a thumbs up and leaving a comment helps out our channel, in addition to sharing our videos by clicking that share button on other social media platforms. You can follow me on social media. We're currently on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, Blogger, Instagram, Snapchat, and I'm on Tumblr and also LinkedIn. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.